Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV. Gonna be casting a game between Liquid Sheth and Mil.Stephano. It is a ZVZ on Shattered Temple. They are spawning cross positions completely. Not crossed by air, but just complete cross positions, which is significant because these scouting overlords will not get in each other's base right away, which means they don't know what their opponent is doing. So even though they're spawning further away from each other, they probably won't go for a hatch first because, well, if Sheth got his overlord into this base and Stephano was there, then he's like, okay, I know you're not six pooling, so I can go hatch first. But since he's not going to be doing that, well, we will see what these players end up doing. Stephano is not known as a cheesy player, so maybe Sheth will end up going for a hatch first anyways. And of course, Sheth, I've never seen this guy cheese, so maybe Stephano will also go for a hatch first. But however, watching the streams, I don't think Stephano really likes hatch first at all on any map, while Sheth, he does go hatch first, and he decides how he can hold any type of 14-14 all-in, because that's the most common all-in you're going to get faced against when you go hatch first. And a lot of people really just don't like ZVZ because they say it's just all-ins all the time, at least in the lower leagues. But at lower leagues, people don't have this thing called larva management. We're going to watch Sheth and see how, like, when he stops droning, because a lot of people, the last ZVZ I cast was Idra versus Regret. You saw Idra get the gas at 14, same with Regret. However, Idra waited until he had around 100 minerals, while Regret just immediately got that, allowing Idra to mine a few more times. It's a lot of those subtle things in ZVZ which allow you to hold these all-ins. Sheth is most likely going to be stopping droning at 17, going to save up Larva, and his Overlord by then should be in position right here to see if any lings come out from Stephano, because Stephano is not going to be going for that hatch first. So, since Sheth's going to see those lings, he has Larva back at home, he can build lings of his own. If he didn't have this larva, if you were like lower league and you were just building drones all the time until you saw something, then when lings come barreling across the map, you don't have any larva to build lings with. So then those lings that they come across the map get an advantage, and well, that just skyrockets out of control. Because yes, you do have two hatches up, but two hatches produce less larva than one hatch with a queen if you have perfect injects. And Stephano, he is pretty darn good on his injects, and none of these players do end up scouting. Sometimes when a player does go hatch first, they will drone scout to see if the opponent is pulling guys off of gas, which is really big, because then you know, okay, I'm not going to be up against a Baneling all-in. And Sheth would love to know that right now, but Sheth not going to be getting that scouting on, does see lings moving across the map, is producing 4 lings because, again, he had the larva ready and just waiting, and even going to be getting, actually that was Stephano building 4 lings, Sheth going to be building 6 lings because he had the larva, so he can do this, and we'll see if what Stephano ends up doing. He is just sending more and more lings across the map, is getting that speed. The speed about halfway done, and Sheth is just watching these lings come across the map. If you want to be cute, you can kind of put the lings on patrol, past Overlord vision, and the Overlord will just eventually get confused, like, oh my god, I just see so many lings. But Sheth, he has a ling advantage, is getting the spine crawler, just because he doesn't know that the guys haven't pulled off gas. If Sheth had got a scout in, he would know, okay, there's no Banelings now, so I don't have to get this spine crawler. But because he doesn't know that, he's got to end up just getting the spine to be safe against Banelings. And Stephano also going to be getting a spine crawler up to move it on over to his natural. And now Sheth is forced to put his queens on the ramp, which means he is going to be a little bit behind on his inject. So even though Sheth got his queens out, 2 queens out first, he has the hatch out first, has that advantage, he is going to be going at a little bit of a disadvantage. The game is going to even up because Stephano is going to be ready here with 2 queens. Sheth, his queens, a little bit late on this one hatch and going to be pretty darn late on this hatch. Pretty much going to miss one entire inject because of that little pressure. So the advantage Sheth had for going for this hatch first is pretty much negated. And you do see 35 supply to 36 supply with Stephano in the lead. Now going to send a few lings out. The spine caller getting a poke. And these lings are just going to cross the map. Sheth trying to pick off one ling, but he just cannot. And now, since the larva management portion of the game has finished, it's no more all-ins. Now this game is just a game of drone chicken, as I would say. A lot of lanes going to hold position right here. There are plenty of queens here. And what I mean by drone chicken is whoever has more drones is in the lead. However, whoever has more drones is at risk for losing the game. It's really weird how that works, but if you have more drones than your opponent, chances are you have less of an army or less of a tech, meaning if they attack you, they can do severe damage. If you don't have the drones, hopefully you have the more vermi. And you have to put pressure on because, well, eventually their macro is going to kick in. We do see Stephano leading with one Ling just to try to pick off any Banelings before all these Lings do run in. Stephano knows there are Banelings out, and he is going for the Roaches right now, as I did see the Roach one come out. He is getting an Evolution Chamber. And, moving his Spine Crawler, and looks like it is going to be still just a normal game. Stephano is going to be taking out those rocks, hinting that he wants a third base. Sheth, on the other hand, he is getting a lot of gas. And these two gases right now are a little bit odd. He doesn't have any Evo Chambers. If he had any, like, double Evo Chambers, I would be saying this could be Roach Plan. He's just getting those upgrades. But because he doesn't have any of those, he is going to be going for Mutalisks. My guess would be, at least. I mean, I don't see him doing anything else. You wouldn't really go Infestor Ling because that just isn't really that good. A Roach push would just stomp all on over it. We do have the Roaches going to come out, and Stephano will be taking 3 bases before his Lair Tech, most likely. Now just getting this one gas, has some up at his natural, and notice he got this gas well before this gas. And that way, if Sheth came in, put a little bit of pressure on, he sees this one gas up, can't get into the main, so he doesn't know Stephano only had 1 gas here, so the safest thing Sheth could do is assume that Stephano was on 3 gases that time. And that means that Stephano probably would have this layer, and Sheth would never see this third base coming. But Sheth did not get that scout in, and also has an Overlord right here, seeing those rocks come down, so Sheth probably knows that the third base is down. Stephano is going to be seeing all these Spine Crawlers, and the only thing this could possibly mean is Muta play. Because right now, Sheth is just saying, okay, I'm not going to use any gas. No more gas. I'm going to defend this with just minerals. And how do you do that? By getting lots and lots and lots and lots of Spine Crawlers. And Stephano is getting another queen. His third base is coming up, so that may just be transferred on over. I don't see any Spore Crawlers just yet. He is cutting it down to the wire, but Stephano knows his timings. It's 10 minutes in this game, and there's been Banelings produced. So that means that there's no way in the hell that Mutas can be out before the 10-minute mark. So Stephano not getting any Spore Crawlers. I'm assuming he's going to be getting them soon, but also he's not really moving his... No, this Overlord is going back. So he is moving his Overlords back. He knows Mutas are most likely going to be coming. This one is just going to secure it. He's going to know it. And Stephano really needs to get... There we go. Spore Crawlers are going down because, if anything TVZ has taught us, it's 11 minutes is when the Mutas hit. So at 11 minutes, you have to have anti-air up. And it looks like Stephano is doing just that. And Stephano knew it wasn't layered before the speed because he saw Sheth's speed finish. So that does tell Stephano exactly when the Mutas could possibly be coming out. And this is such a great read from Stephano. Sheth going to come in, do a little bit of damage actually. Stephano just a little bit late on these Spore Crawlers, but they are going to get up, going to be losing some queens. But Stephano is producing a lot more queens, getting those upgrades out, and all those Roaches for Stephano are going to be falling back as... I guess he saw the Spine Crawlers. My apologies, I was paying attention to the Mutas. Going into the workers killed. No real workers killed, so these Roaches didn't really do anything. They kind of moved across the map, and I was like, okay, not a good idea. We do have 3 queens here with the Spore Crawler. Can use Transfuse. I believe, yes, he does have enough for Transfuse. These Mutas, though, killing only 5 drones so far. Stephano doing a great job at pulling back. Sheth is going to start taking out these rocks, and once the Lings do get in here, these Spore Crawlers can go down, which means the Mutas can take out this one base. And Stephano, how many queens does he have? 5? Not too many. He's not producing any more queens. Those rocks have fallen. Stephano is going to be putting a few Roaches here to defend against these Lings. The Mutas coming in. The Mutas taking some severe damage from those Spore Crawlers. Some Lings coming in from Stephano, trying desperately to hold on to this third base. Here we go. 3 queens on the way here. The Spore Crawlers need to get transfused, and the Lings around those cannot get transfused. But Stephano does pull off. The queen ends up getting transfused. One does, and does go down anyways. This queen's so close to falling, and both of them go down. Stephano doesn't have that many queens left. Actually, at 0 queens. Doesn't have a single queen. No injects going to be coming down for Stephano. Going into the drones, though, Stephano is at 64. So this is that drone chicken. Stephano had more drones. Therefore, Sheth had a bigger army, and he could do damage. Sheth killed 8 drones. Stephano's still ahead. However, this does allow Sheth to take another base. And these Mutas, that Sheth is no longer going to be building because he is going for Infestor Tech because you don't want to mass mutas ever, is just going to give him map control. This is like the perfect number of mutas to just scare an opponent, make sure there's no overlords out, because we can look at Sheth's vision. Oh my god, look at this, so sick. And now we can go to Stephano's vision. Yeah, there's not so much. So Stephano definitely just spreading his creep because this is the only way he can get vision. He can't really do any overlord tricks. If Sheth wanted to, he could line up his overlords here. And then, when he wanted to move out with roaches or lings, he could push a button, make all the overlords vomit creep, and then, after Sheth's finished with his attack, he can push that button again, make that creep go away, and now Stephano no longer has the speed bonus that Sheth had to attack. But because Stephano can't do that with his overlords because of the mutas, he is forced to spread this creep to get some type of map vision, to have an idea where Sheth is. But this also gives Sheth an advantage if Sheth ever wants to go and attack. So this is definitely an interesting game. 137 supply, 152, 72 drones, 279. Both players are kind of at that magical drone number. And Stephano has a lot of queens. They're not near the hatch. And his creep is going pretty far across the map, so looks like he is going to be just moving those on out. Going to be doing even more larva. Try to get as much vision as possible. And he has 5 queens to 4 hatches. And they are all moving out, so it looks like Stephano is going to be doing a little bit of this infamous Roach Queen Infestor push. I think it's mainly just Roach Queen that I've seen a lot, or Queen Ultralisk. But Stephano is going to mix it in with a few Infestors, and that will be great against these mutas. Can put down Infested Terrans and kind of say, okay, I have Marines. Mutas, don't attack me anymore. I have Marines. It's that simple. And Stephano is at 2-2 upgrade. Sheth is just at 1-1, and Sheth is not going to be going for 2-2. So Stephano has a pretty nice window, and oh my god, Sheth gets a huge phone growth on all these Infestors. They gotta let loose and shoot off more Infested Terrans because another phone growth will be killing them. Infested Terrans doing a lot. Big phone growth for Sheth yet again. Beautiful fungals, but now Stephano going to be shooting out those Infested Terrans. All the Infestors are weak. They gotta get away. Stephano doesn't have Burrow. And it looks like Sheth will be able to hold on thanks to the defender's advantage. These queens, though, could transfuse. I have no idea how effective they will be. It looks like not effective really at all. Going to be transfusion just to stay alive. Few Infested Terrans back here killing what roaches they can going into this loss tab. We do see that Sheth has lost more than Stephano this game. Losing all those mutas was definitely pretty darn big. But Sheth has the army right now. And what are you doing, Queen? And yeah, the Queen is going to die. So Stephano is in one sticky situation. However, Stephano has that Infestor lead, I believe. He killed many of Sheth's Infestors. Sheth is down to 2 Infestors, while Stephano is up to 11. So if he gets some good phone growths off and doesn't lose 3 Infestors like that, he can hold this off. Just going to be shooting a few Infested Terrans, still again trying to delay. He has the upgrade advantage. Sheth doesn't even have 2-2. No, he does start 2-2 now. And those Infestors have enough for phone growth. Phone growth going off on those roaches. Some beautiful fungals. One Infestor coming in from that high ground, getting another fungal. And those roaches cannot engage right here. All these roaches just doing no damage. It is a small roach versus small roach, and Stephano has the lead. These fungal growths just holding these roaches back, being so effective. And now Stephano does hold on with the hair on his chinny chin chin, but oh my god! Overextends a little bit. These Spine Coils are going to be pushing these roaches back because, again, look at the HP on them. None. Neither of these players have Burrow. And going to the worker count, it is 63, Jones 282. So Sheth does have a lead. Let's go into this income tab. How much of a lead is that? Oh, 200 minerals and 500. Oh, God, 500 gas. Stephano made a boo-boo somewhere, or maybe one of his gases. No. Ah, here's the boo-boo Stephano made. 0 guys in this one gas, and that would explain why Sheth is just so far ahead in gas. Has the gold base, so 2 more geysers, plus actually 3 more geysers because Stephano doesn't have any drones in this gas, and with all these overlords overhead, I don't know if Stephano knows that. And Stephano is actually gas starved right now. He has 200 gas and 1.3k minerals, so this mistake is actually really big for Stephano. And I'm going to be moving Spine Coils right here to prevent any type of run-bys. Very nice job, but Stephano needs to get gas, but he can't get gas. Sheth is going to be mass expanding right now, and Sheth has hit 200 supplies. Stephano is going to hit 200 supply as well. And it's all going to come down to army control. And actually, I shouldn't say all come down to army control because Sheth is going to have such a much better macro. But Sheth's weakness, I believe, is his engagements. He doesn't always have the best engagements. He has, oh my god, his macro is insane. His decision-making, pretty good. And his decision-making just is a little bit behind from what I've seen. So, Stephano, he is just good at everything. His hotkeys could use some work. He only uses 4 hotkeys ever, as you do see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. His injects could use some work. He isn't flawless at anything, but he's just good at anything, which means he doesn't really have any weakness. And he's never scared to engage 200-200 versus 200-200. Actually, Stephano would prefer to engage at max dummy versus max dummy. That is how he plays. Sheth's going to be sending out a bunch of Infestitans, wasting a lot of Infestor energy. That is going to deny this one base, and could allow these roaches to go up and attack that third base. But it looks like Sheth just wants to take out this gold base, and all those roaches coming in going to be taking some damage when they don't have to take damage because of those Infestitans. But he is going to be cleaning up these roaches, and we'll see what Sheth has in store for us. His hive is just now finishing. So he is going to be starting that Greater Spire. Does have food, so now he can get Corruptors if he wants. But it's a little bit risky to get Corruptors when your Greater Spire has just started, because then you're not going to have as big of a ground army, and Corruptors are going to do nothing. Stephano is going to be moving on out with this handful of Lings, trying to kill what drones he can, or take out Queens, Hatches, and what have you. Drones for Sheth are going to burrow. And Stephano is still going to keep on going, trying to pick off this one. Infestor says, nope, sees this one base, and he's like, okay, I am in trouble. Going to be moving out now. Stephano maxed out. Sheth maxed out. Stephano walking into a few spine crawlers. And Pheasantan's going out for Stephano. Spine crawlers, though, doing their job. Fungirth on the Infestitans to kill them because they do have great DPS. And 2 Fungirths will kill them just like Marines. More Infestitans coming out from Stephano. Now Sheth's going to be shooting them off, and this is going to be a hard battle to call Infestitans from both sides. And Sheth's going to be spawning even more, but look at all the energy on Stephano's Infestors right now, while Sheth doesn't have any. But Stephano is forced to pull back. Those spine callers just doing so much for Sheth right now. Stephano, though, he is even in supply, but he isn't going to have those Broodlords that Sheth is going to have. He has a hive, but I don't see any spire. No spire whatsoever. While Sheth's, his Greater Spire, you know what? His Greater Spire is done, guys. It is right there. And Overlord coming here, seeing that Stephano is now taking his 5th base. And Stephano has a lot of Infestors with a lot of energy. Sheth had depleted most of his Infestor energy that last battle. Looking at this, he doesn't have as many Infestors, doesn't have that much energy. Stephano, so much energy. He saved that. He didn't fully commit his Infestors to that battle because he was fighting a battle that was pretty much unwinnable because of the Spine Crawlers. So he was just kind of weakening the force, and now Sheth is going to be going up into Birdlords. He is maxed out on supply there, so these roaches have to die. And you can see Sheth just going to be sacrificing them to take out this one hatch. Going to be splitting roaches up to go up to the other base. So Sheth, his roaches are going to die, but he is going to be taking out bases so that Stephano cannot re-macro or build units when it comes to dealing with his Broodlords. And all those roaches do go down. Stephano way ahead in that supply right now. Sheth working on +2 air upgrades while finishing 3-3. And Sheth was behind on upgrades, and now he's actually ahead by a lot in upgrades at least. Broodlord's now out. Stephano does have the supply lead. Those Infestors, again, have the energy lead. But those Broodlords are going to be proving hard to kill underneath all of these Spine Crawlers. More Infestitans are going to be shot off. Huge Fungirths. Oh my god, big Fungirths. I'm eating my words right now for saying Sheth doesn't have the best unit control. Those fungal growths, oh my god, those fungals were just so good. Units coming in here, and now Stephano is going to be trying to take out other bases because, well, he lost his bases, so he's going to try to make it even. Sheth barreling right in. His macro is absolutely scary. Fungirths going down on those Lings. Infestitans coming, and Fungirths going off a handful of roaches. Stephano still has plenty of energy. Those Broodlords do get Fungirth to go down so far. Doesn't have any more Infested Terrans underneath of them. Does have the energy to cast them. Is he going to, though? Sheth doesn't have any Infestors energy on his Infestors. So, well, he can't do anything with those. Stephano trying to take out the Broodlords. Those Infested Terrans not targeting them. Sheth still has 5 Broodlords out now. Stephano going to be taking out this base. Trying to kill off all the bases so Sheth can't use that superb macro that he has to come back. And this hatch is not being built by Stephano. So if this base does live for Sheth, I think Stephano could be in a little bit of trouble. Sheth is going to be way ahead in hatches, but a hold of your horses. We have a bunch of roaches coming in here to absolutely nothing. 2 roaches, though, going to be going up into this base to actually stuff. But 2 roaches cannot really do all that much to these drones. This one queen actually is going to be maybe killing one. If she targets this roach, she will get it, but she is not. And 1 roach does go down right there. And could we actually have Stephano lose the game? We do have Corruptors on the way for Stephano so he can deal with these Broodlords. A lot of the supply is in those Broodlords, but Sheth also has Corruptors out to deal with the Corruptors that Stephano is going to be producing. However, this is a lot of Infestors. You can never count the player with a lot of Infestors out, as Destiny and Cats has shown me many of times. 12 Infestors versus 4 Infestors. The 4 Infestor hit squad not as good as the 12 Infestor circle jerk, I guess it would be. Bunch of Infested Terrans going underneath these Broodlords. Gonna get the phone growth on so they can't leave. And 1 Broodlord does go down. Corruptors turning down those Broodlords. Those Infestors get phone growth. Some will be falling. There's not many Infestors left. Those go off from the side and do go down as well. There goes the well played by Stephano. Sheth is gonna be taking that game. And what a marvelous game that was. And hopefully you did enjoy that cast. Hopefully the early game, there were some things I missed in the scouting of that early game. But I should say, maybe not the scouting, the builds in the early game that I think I missed. But none of the players scouted, so it's kind of hard to talk about that stuff. If you like that, just let me know. And next ZVZ I cast, which hopefully will be soon, if you like that, will have scouting in it. Hopefully. I'd hope it would. So, we'll go into the APM tab. You do have Sheth Macro APM 53, Stephano 83, Micro APM for Sheth 105, 180 for Stephano, 27% for Sheth on his EAPM, redundancy, 46% for Stephano. And I know I did say that Sheth didn't have the best late game engagements. I wasn't saying he was bad at that. I'm just saying I think Stephano has better late game unit management. Because this is one of the first times in a long time I've seen Stephano actually lose when it comes to late game. Going to these injects, you can see that Sheth actually has better injects than Stephano, and that is no shock. Stephano's hotkeys, we'll go back to this game. Stephano doesn't have the best hotkeys for accuracy in injecting. We'll look at how Sheth does it. 8 minutes is good. Pause the game, put this back up. Sheth, what are your hotkeys, sir? So you have your hatches on 1 and 2. So while he's playing through this game, that's play. I've changed all my hotkeys in observer mode, so I don't know how to click 1 and 2, but we can just click it manually. So he can look at this. You can see these creep inject bars. This one you can't because he's morphing a layer. But before he morphed this layer, you could see the creep inject bar. And that does tell Sheth, even when he's not looking at his hatch, he could be right here, hit 2, okay, 3 seconds, I need an inject. So I'm going to go back to my base. Stephano, he does not have that luxury. Let's go to his hotkeys. What does he have? 4, 2. Yeah, all he can do is pretty much the backspace method for injecting. Well, maybe camera, F keys, I don't know how he does it. I'm assuming it's the backspace method, but because of that, he just doesn't have the best of injects. And going back in this, I want to see when the queens go to the ramp, probably at 9:30. Oh no, I've already missed it. Actually, you know what? We can find out when the queens come back. So let's go back over here. Even though Sheth, he had to pull his queens away because of the aggression from Stephano, he still actually had better injects, it looks like, up to 10 minutes. Maybe he didn't. Right here is really impressive. Right there's good. This is 9:17. That's probably when his queen goes back to do the inject. Let's go to 10 minutes. It's going to be close. Sheth, 7.8. Stephano, 9.3. Stephano wasn't under any pressure at 10 minutes, but he is 9.3 second average inject gap, which isn't bad. But as you've heard me cast plenty of times, because every Zerg, they generally have around 7. If you're Damaga, you have 6. So Stephano, his hotkeys don't help him inject, and it does show in this early game, and of course late game. He has okay injects. It doesn't matter late game what you like. A 30-minute game, there's going to be no difference between 43 inject gap and a 50 inject gap just because you're on enough hatches where generally it doesn't matter. But in this early game, when every ling does count, every drone counts, because if you don't build a drone, that's going to hurt your next larva. Or maybe your Overlord comes out late to get supply cap for a little bit. This early game larva is so critical. So right here, maybe let's look at 8:53. Is that when Sheth's queen are on the ramp? I don't think so, but it may be. Yeah, it is. So, if you can't tell right now, I'm at 8 minutes in the game. His queen. We'll have to find this, because I really want to see how this looks like on SE2 gears, because I am not seeing it unless it's at 6:29. And it's it's probably at 6:29 actually. Family's coming out, so 4 minutes. So yeah, it was really early. Okay. So now the queens are here, 5:30, and we can go back to SE2 gears. I thought Sheth had more than 2 injects before the queen went down, but no, I was wrong. So right here, can you imagine what Sheth's inject gap would be if he didn't have this gap? I mean, he's at 5.8 seconds right here. That is insanely good. Stephano at 11.7 because he has this small gap controlling those lings. So let's see. What else can we show you? 8 p.m. we went. Build stack. This won't really show us too much. We can see the number of Fungos and Infestitans they use. That could be good to know. 206 Infestitans for Stephano, 59 for Sheth, 34 Fungos versus 33. So Stephano, more Infestor stuff. Go into the units built. Does he have more Infestors? 37 to 51. So Stephano definitely has better Infestor control. And that kind of goes with that late game engagement type stuff I was talking about earlier in this game. Going over into unit tiers. Let's go to 30. So right here, probably, let's see, what is going on at 21 minutes for Sheth. Because he's not producing anything for a while. This could be drones, this could be drone pumping, but this is a long time. So 21, I'm guessing he's maxed out, but we will find out. So going in the game, that is when Sheth does max out. Let's see, what can we do? Okay, so let's see. Nothing there. Nothing this really tells us. Resources spent could be cool. You can see both players spending a little bit more. And this is the first time I've really seen someone spend more minerals and someone spend more gas. Sheth spent more gas, but it does come down to, let's see. Take away from this cumulative granularity. Can we get minerals? So, let's see what we're looking for. What I'm trying to do is show you that Stephano's gas was horrible, but not horrible, that's a bad word. But that one gas mistake Stephano made, that's what I'm trying to point out. So Stephano is blue. No. This is going to be hard to look. I'll need a lot more to tell. I mean, I wish you could take away the minerals on this graph, and I'm sure there's a way. But light blue is gas, so put this all in one shot. And this changed the scale, so that's what I really don't like. I don't know how. Will this still change scale? Yeah. Okay. Anywho. I hope you enjoyed the cast. That's going to be pretty much it. I hope you enjoy IPL Vegas this weekend. If you're there, awesome for you. I'm not, unfortunately. So I will be watching, but I will be keeping on casting throughout the weekend. So don't forget to subscribe and keep watching my cast because it just helps so much. Take care, guys, and I will